Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, if you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. They did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article. Share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Trigger warning 1, when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to use the headphones, alright? Trigger warning 2, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and do speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised, alright? Okay, so where we left off last time. Recent testimony from Massachusetts hearing. Oh, we already went over that, didn't we? Sorry, folks, it's been a long day. Keeping the foregoing in mind, the quotations of references 42 and 16 indicate that published accounts report few, if any, negative side effects, do not fairly characterize the decades of research since 1975. Thank you! There's a thing about science. Yes, you can look at the results and take seriously results from 1975. What you cannot do is discount all the research and discoveries that have been made since 1975, even if those discoveries prove your premise as false. That's what it's saying here. All the research since 1975 essentially points to the fact that the JRC is absolutely batshit insane. But let's continue, shall we? In the intervening decades, clinicians have expanded what they consider to be negative side effects and have made significant changes in ability to diagnose and classify negative psychological effects. Okay, let's start here. In the 1970s, folks, we were just beginning to talk mental health. There was still an enormous stigma that was surrounding it. Oh, we still have stigma today, but it was not near 1975 level, folks. This is the years of the institutions, all right? Where people didn't have really anything. Where if your kid got diagnosed with autistic, the doctor will tell you to put them in an institution and that's it. Keep that in mind. All right. The things that we know now because of advances in mental health science, in medical science, disprove the earlier premise. But also because of that knowledge, what those negative side effects can be now include the mental health issues that could be a side effect. Depression, increase in aggression, increase in self-injurious behavior, or maybe there's silence and frozenness, maybe it's catatonia, maybe it's a complete utter emotional shutdown. Things that back only a few decades ago would just been shoved out and not even contemplated as a negative side effect is now considered negative side effects. So saying few, if any, is not taking into account the idea of the fact that in regards to negative side effects, there is a longer list of things that can go wrong. Mental health issues, damage that electricity can do underneath the skin that may not necessarily be something you can see with the naked eye right away, like we can now with the technology that we have. You get where I'm going here, right? Emotional reactions in particular were barely even noted in 1975, nor were they delved into with anything other than just surface observations. Dismissed almost as quickly as they entered into the mind. These days, we take mental health a hell of a lot more seriously, and we also understand how that kind of so called treatment can affect the mental health. And yes, it's a side effect. If we want to get more technical, though, let's call it what it is: torture. All right? Let's continue, shall we? In the intervening decades, clinicians have expanded what they consider to be negative side effects and have made significant advances in the ability to diagnose and classify negative psychological effects. Exactly. For example, pain is itself a harm, yet earlier studies did not view the pain as a harm. Back in the day, if it did not cause you to either have a bruise or cut up in the skin, it was not considered harm. These days, if it hurts you, that is considered harm. We know for a fact that the GED was designed specifically, Dr. Matthew Israel's own words, to hurt. In fact, the reason why they switched over from the SIBIS machine is because Dr. Matthew felt like that machine didn't hurt the kids enough. I'm paraphrasing, but look it up, folks. It's all over the internet for those who actually care to see these people buried in the dregs of history where they belong. All right, let's see here. It's pretty simple what they're saying, right? What we know of negative side effects in regards to treatment these days, as opposed to 1975, can't really be quantified or measured. It is light years ahead. Few, if any, harm that that lady is citing does not match current medicine. We're not going to take a trip back a few decades and give JRC a pass again. Ugh, you see what I mean, right? This is why it pisses me off. We need to bring it back to like it was in the 50s. For your privileged ass, maybe, but for us, the rest of us, go fuck yourself. All right, sorry, folks. We're going to go ahead and close out on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So if you could, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to utilize those comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I will see you in a few minutes. Bye bye, everyone.